President Cyril Ramaphosa says a group of 6 African leaders are on a mission to broker peace in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. He says the African initiative has been endorsed by Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Ramaphosa was speaking to journalists at Tuynhuis in Cape Town after receiving the Prime Minister of Singapore, Hsien Loong, who is in the country on an official visit. Now, SABC News reporter Bulelani Phillip joins us now from Cape Town. Good evening to you and welcome to the program. Just share with us just the mood and the tone. It seemed quite convivial. There are a number of areas in which South Africa and Singapore want to and need to collaborate on. Just give us a sense of how it all developed where you are.
Well, good evening to you, Iman, and to the viewers at home. Of course, where I am is at the VAN waterfront, where Deputy President Paul Mashatile will be hosting the delegation from Singapore. Of course, this is the third leg of today's proceedings. It's going to be a light dinner, and he's going to be entertaining the guests from Singapore. But of course, earlier on, what we did see is that South Africa is saying that they want to cement all the political ties, economic ties, as well as the people-to-people ties with Singapore, because the two parties or the two countries have been having this partnership for the past 30 years. And some of the areas that they are looking to cooperation is the issues of trade and investment, as well as paying a specific attention in areas such as engineering, biomedical technology, energy, as well as some of the issues of infrastructure. Of course, the President Cyril Ramaphosa is saying that they are still keen in terms of working with the people of Singapore in terms of finding common solutions to the common problems that they share. And of course, the big question that we did ask him earlier this afternoon was whether will Singapore come to the party in terms of assisting South Africa with the current energy crisis that we face. And he's saying that, of course, the two countries are in a transition period in terms of the energy mix, and they can both learn amongst each other in terms of how they deal with the current energy challenges that these countries face. The president, again, giving the assurance that government is trying to deal with the problem. His government is on top of the problem, and eventually government will actually, resolve the problem. But as to when that will be, it's still anybody's guess for now. And of course, as I'm speaking to you now, where we expect that the Deputy President Paul Mashatile will actually carry on with this process of engaging with the people or the Federation of Singapore. Iman?
Bulelani, as you say, historic ties between our country and Singapore, 30 years, is not a short space of time. And this was a really full contingent that Prime Minister Lee brought with him, which includes people across all of these sectors of potential mutual trade and cooperation between Singapore and South Africa. And I expect there will be more announcements to come following that meeting as well. So on to the second phase or the second part. What's on the agenda tonight?
Well, tonight it's just a lighter moment for the two parties or the two countries to actually meet each other on an informal basis, a dinner that's been held for them, I guess, in celebration of the historical ties that these two countries are celebrating. Of course, earlier on this afternoon, we did see that President Ramaphosa, as well as Prime Minister Loong, did lead a discussion in a business roundtable where the two parties were actually exchanging ideas in terms of how the two countries can mutually benefit from these agreements that they have undertaken over the years. Of course, what we did got an indication of is that South Africa will be looking to tap into some of the issues of how to manage state-owned companies, given the challenges that the country has. And at the same time, they're also looking into how Singapore can assist South Africa with regards to the energy generation challenges that we have. But on the other hand, Singapore is also bringing about 17 companies that are interested in doing business with South Africa. And of course, the president did say that South Africa remains the gateway into Africa, and any countries, particularly those in Asia where the economies are growing faster, they can use South Africa as the gateway into Africa and doing business on the continent. Iman?
Thank you, Bulelani, for keeping an eye on things for us and for sharing the latest in that visit between President Cyril Ramaphosa and the Prime Minister of Singapore, Prime Minister Hsien Loong.